3, 2, 1.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning's episode of Find Your Freedom TV. Sorry we are a little bit late to the schedule, but it's just taken us a bit of time to get over to Fiji, where our guest for you is waiting to come on. So my name's Jodie. I am the co-founder of The 7 Effect and your host here at Find Your Freedom TV. The purpose of Find Your Freedom TV is to share with you practical strategies, ideas, tips, and proven things that you can implement step by step that will help you find emotional, mental, and financial freedom. Now, today's episode is all about living the dream. I don't know about you, but if you've ever had one of those big, hairy, audacious goals or the kind of impossible dream that you fantasize about, that have ever wondered, could I ever do it? Then this is the episode for you, because I want to present to you, or I want to invite in just a moment, one of our graduates from the 2016 Ultimate Goals Club. And in our Ultimate Goals Club, Rebecca Simon joined the program with 3 big dreams. Number 1, she wanted to live an unconventional life. She didn't want to kind of follow the regular pattern that most people got into. Number 2, she actually wanted to pack up her family, escape the rat race, and buy land in Fiji to build an eco-based resort. And number 3, she wanted to have a 40th birthday on cloud 9 in Fiji. And so here she is. I am thrilled to actually say that 2 of those goals have been absolutely smashed, and the 3rd one, she is in the making. So Beck, welcome to the show, and thanks for being here. Hello.
Bulla. Thanks for having me, Jodie.
How are you doing? I'm so thrilled that we've been able to get you on board, and look at you in your Fiji lifestyle.
I know. Beck, well, you guys are all rugged up. I'm wearing shorts and T-shirts.
Yeah, it's freezing here in Adelaide at the moment. So, Beck, I want to start with the same question that I ask all our guests is, tell me what freedom is to you.
Well, freedom to me is, I guess, my motto, and thanks to you, Jodie, is just living life by design, really. Yeah. It's running life on my terms and not letting life run me, you know. Yeah.
That's exactly what live life by design means, is be conscious, you make the choices, don't let life happen to you. So that's great. Yeah, sorry, you were going to say?
Yeah, and it's just, not letting fear make decisions for me. I've let fear make decisions for me my whole life. And it was kind of just that, that time to take off that security blanket. And, I believe in the motto, I live by the motto, you're born and you die. Why not?
Nice.
Yeah. Society, teaches us, to go to school, to get a good job, to pay your taxes, to retire. And I just felt like I was just running on this little rat wheel with everybody else. And I just thought, even though I'm so scared of change, and I'm very much a homebody kind of person, I like to be around my family. It was just, I just needed to do something crazy for myself, just to prove to myself that I can do something, and it's not as bad and not as scary when you actually do it.
And it is a pretty crazy thing what you've done, but in a good way. I don't think it's crazy insane, but I think it's crazy courageous. And that's what I love about, I remember in Goals Club and you talking about this life and this 40th birthday on cloud 9 and this Fiji lifestyle. And it's so amazing to, number 1, have been invited to go and be at the 40th with you, but to, number 2, see you actually making this fantasy become your reality. So well done on that.
Thank you.
Take me back to a time when you did feel trapped, if you've ever felt trapped by your own life?
Yeah, I guess it's we live in a very fast-paced lifestyle, all of us. I hear the word busy, busy, busy so much, and I just feel that we're all just. You cook yourself. You feel like you're literally cooking yourself. A week feels like 2 days. And I just got so sick of that, and I just felt like, there was a better way to do things. And so, that's when I guess I truly believe, that if I want something in my life, if they say I want better finance, I need to run my finances better, then I'll go find someone who's running their finances better, and I'll say, can I take you out for a coffee and pick your brain? What are you doing? And if there's someone who's got the most amazing relationship, and and I'm not in a good place in my relationship, I'll go to them, pick their brain. What do you guys do, to keep your relationship alive? Anything that I ever want in life, I always realize you've got to go to that person who's doing it well and ask them, what are they doing? And that's, I guess, why I came to you. If you want to soar, get a mentor.
Yeah. And, you are someone who is incredibly coachable. I actually loved being your coach for those 12 months that we worked together, because number one, you never denied your fears. You actually said, hey, I've got all these fears. Jodie, I've got a bag of issues. Help me work through them. But you were so open. You weren't resistant to change, even though you said openly, part of it terrifies you, and that's a sign of being coachable. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things that's helped you succeed. Has there ever been a time when you felt like this big dream that you're on the process of achieving now was going to be impossible, or where you felt like giving up?
Absolutely. God, I could talk on this for about 5 hours. If your dreams don't scare you, though, they're not big enough. And this has been probably the scariest thing I've ever done. If it was easy, what I'm doing, everyone would be doing it. Yeah. So, we tried to move to Fiji 3 times, and every single time that we tried to move, we sold everything, houses, and then it fell through. By the 3rd time, I'm thinking, is this really meant to be? And then I thought, you know what, Jodie taught me to dream big, dare to dream. And I was like, no, for some reason, something's calling me. I'm just sick to death of, I guess, the environment I was in at the time, just the negative people around me, the feeling of that rat race. When I got some success in the business I was a part of, I lost a lot of my girlfriends. And I just felt like I just needed to do something for me. And I guess it was a time where my daughter came home from school and she said, Mum, I want to kill myself. And she was being severely bullied in year 1. And that's when I just literally said, I need to get out of here and do something different and just get my kids away. And for someone who is a homebody like myself, I just went back to, when we did our 1-year vision and our 5-year vision, and Mike and I always dreamed of, you kind of live those dreams. Oh, I'd love to live on an island, and I'd love to do this, I'd love to do that. But in deep down, so I'm never going to do that. I've got a mortgage to pay, I've got this to do, I've got kids that need to be at school. And then I thought, well, do they need to be at school? Do we really need to live here? Do I need to pay that mortgage? Like, why do I feel that I need to be doing all these things that everybody else does? So and it has been hard. And with corruption, we not settling on land a year and a half later, with losing visa applications, just everything was a mess. And then, I broke down and I thought, this is all too hard. But then I thought, I keep on going back to that saying, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And I know that everything that happens is an assignment for me to learn something and grow from it and to get me closer to where I want to be.
Yeah. And, I think that's such an important part of your story as well, Beck, because it's very easy for people on the outside who aren't part of your inner world to just assume that you've got this easy lifestyle, you get to swing in your hammock, you sip on your cocktails, and it's kind of like that picture that you see where someone's sort of on the pinnacle of the mountain, but then there's all the stuff underneath the surface, the struggle, the heartbreak, the stress, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the emotional meltdowns. And it's all that stuff that is part of the journey. And the fact that you do start to think, should I keep going? Do I give up? Everyone that's achieved extraordinary success that I've met has been through those things. So it is a reality, isn't it?
Absolutely. We see what people are what they achieve. Like we see like Richard Branson with Virgin, or we see so many people achieve these amazing things, but we don't see what you know, what they failed at along the way, what went wrong, what went right. We don't see the journey. And it is a journey. And, you know, I call it my season of sacrifice. You know, if I'm going to strive for something and achieve something, and I have a goal, then, you know, we call it our season of sacrifice. And this is what we're going to go without to be able to move in this direction. You know, what's going to get us closer to where we want to be? Is that TV going to get us closer to where we want to be? Is scrolling on Facebook how many times a day going to get us closer to where we want to be? No. So it's about going without for a little while. Dreams reality.
Absolutely. And, you know, Theoni's made some great comments here. She's actually said, don't take swimming lessons from someone who's drowning, which really ties into what you were saying before. But also, as Theoni says, people will have their own perception of how you go to where you are, but it usually doesn't include the blood, sweat and tears. And that is part of the journey. And I think that that's why people give up, because sometimes they have this false expectation that it's going to be like having the winning lottery ticket. But the reality is those things don't come around all that often. You can get the results. You can achieve whatever you would achieve if you won the lotto, but you just got to put in the work. And that's the part most people aren't willing to do. So I admire what you've achieved. Would you tell us a little bit about what is the...
Yeah, I think truly you create your own luck.
You do. You create your own luck. But what is the thing that kept you going through all of it? Is there something that's just kept you going, Beck? No, hopefully we're not going to lose her.
Absolutely. You know, so they say the average of the 5 people you hang around, we've all heard that saying 5 million times, but I tell you.
Yep.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Got me?
Yep. Got you. Yep. I can hear you.
Have you got me now? Might be a slight delay.
Yep. You're there. Oh, well, just let her know. Yep.
So I'll just keep talking.
Yeah, do.
Okay, good, because there's probably a little bit of a delay, so I'll just keep talking. So yeah, they say the average of the 5 people you hang around. I truly believe that. But I think what's most important is that that you've got to understand that the growth journey never ever stops. Okay, when you're 90 years old, you're going to be learning something. And so just knowing that those ups and downs and the things that go wrong are all there to teach us something. Is there a better way, or is this meant to be and something's trying to pull me over in this direction because this isn't the right path for me, with so many things that went wrong here overseas. And so I guess you got to be open that when something goes wrong, use it as an opportunity to go, what can I learn from this? Or what am I not seeing that the universe is trying to tell me? And when I looked at things differently, oh my God, my whole world changed and all the puzzle pieces started to form. And it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was something completely different over here, but it was like, wow, thank goodness that happened. Otherwise, in hindsight, that would have been a really bad decision, and things like that. So it's learning to see things, things that go wrong in a positive light. That's the first step to success. And the other thing is to have a positive partner. I've got quite a big business globally, across 66 countries, and the common thing I hear is that partners don't support their partners. And something I say is, going back to, whether you're married or not, but go back to when you said your vows, that you'd love and support each other. Now, we're 2 different human beings on this planet. And so I say to, people in my team, go back to your partner and say, look, I've got a dream, I've got a wish, I've got goals, I've got aspirations. And for us to stay together and for us to do this, you need to love and support me and high five me, most importantly. And, not when I come home, you go, what are you doing that for? Like, even when days are tough, high five me and just say, you know what, keep going, hun. You're doing a great job. That's all I need. Even if you don't believe in what I'm doing, still high five me. And so it's about having that honest conversation with your partner. If you find that you're in that place where they're not giving that support, and you're not getting the encouragement you need at home. So that's the first thing that I suggest to people to work on, and just to understand that life is, you'll always be learning. You're never going to know everything. So don't wait for that right time to know everything. Don't have analysis paralysis, or, just jump in and take action, because we have dreams, but we just don't take action.
It's so true. And I think perfectionism and fear of failure can really stop people from just having a crack. And sometimes you just got to have a crack and go, what, as Theoni said in one of her comments, all of the obstacles are just lessons. So they're all available to us. So, Beck, I know that, like you share a value of, like us, you share a value of contribution. And being in Fiji has really inspired you to do some great initiatives. And your latest one had my office recently filled up with bras. So tell us a bit about your booby and boots drive and what motivates you to do these kind of things. So what's with all the bras and the boots?
Yeah, well, like, you know how when you start to do some personal development, you start to get, read some books and, on the cash flow quadrants and this and that. And it always says, when you're doing your budgeting and, to always have that percentage towards, giving back, and, so many times throughout my years of, I'm struggling just to pay the mortgage or this or that, like back, years ago. And so how can I, put some money aside for that? And so what I found that, because I put a lot of pressure on myself, they say 10%. Well, I can't afford 10%. So then I worked, realized, even if it's 1%, that's better than nothing. Even if it's just walking past a homeless person and handing them a sausage roll. And then I did Your Goals Club, and I knew I always loved to give back, and I loved that feeling of not getting anything in return, but just giving back. And when I did Your Goals Club, and we did the 7 areas, you're setting goals in the 7 areas, which I absolutely changed my life, because I was so unbalanced before that. And then the 7 areas completely changed my life. So then, but whenever I got to that 7th goal, which is passion, I left it blank for so many months, and it drove me nuts. Like, what's my passion? And then I guess I put too much pressure on myself that I didn't like art and painting, or I wasn't a golf player and things like that. So then all of a sudden I realized it's just helping people. So being over here and seeing, I guess how simple people live, and the just having to buy the bare necessities to start with rather than the luxuries, and how different these worlds are. If I can contribute in any way, it ticks all the boxes for me for my reason of being on this planet. So, even if you can't afford to give money to charity, give time. And so that's what we're very much a part of, collecting bras. A bra here can cost a lot of money, and it's obviously it hurts your back if you're not wearing them, and the boys play rugby in their bare feet, and share rugby boots around, and it's just something small, but it's something so important. And when their faces light up when you hand this to them, and the appreciation, it blows me away. So we've started to collect some bras, some football boots, and the next one's going to be, there's an orphanage here on the island that I'd really love to help. So thank you to everyone across Australia and New Zealand who have helped gather thousands and thousands of bras and boots, which will be shipped over here soon.
Yeah, and it's such a nice thing, because you do have a global team in your business. And I remember when we were going through the 7 elements of life, and that passion one was like, oh, what is it? I don't want to knit. I don't want to paint. And then when you've had that big light bulb moment, it was like it literally lit you up. And here you are now, making it a big part of your life and one of the main reasons that you exist. And it's great to see. So well done on that. And I think it's inspiring to show people, well, if you're in a position where you don't have a lot of money to give, think about, where are the gaps? What are the small things that people find really valuable that don't cost you anything to put together except some commitment to time. So I love that you do that. So, Beck, I wanted to ask, if someone was on a journey or really starting out going, look, I feel like I'm stuck in a rut, I feel like life is not going where I want to do, but yes, packing up and moving to a tropical island or doing something different would be wonderful. What's the first things that you would suggest that they do? First step.
Okay. The first step would probably just get around the right people. Get around the people who are where you want to be. That, like I mentioned earlier, that's really important. Don't listen to the naysayers. You know, if I had to listen to everybody who told me, what are you doing, Michael, giving up a trade that in a year that you've spent 13 years building, or Beck, why are you giving up this and doing that? You know, you guys, why are you doing this to your children? My God, they need to be here in Australia. If I listened to that, I wouldn't be here now. My children wouldn't be as happy as they are. And we are, like, I've never been this happy. So it's just being around the right people.
Yeah, while you are here and your screen's clear, can you give us a little sneak peek of where you are and what it looks like there in Fiji?
Well, it's a bit grey today, though, but anyway.
A little bit of your garden because it looks stunning before.
So I've got my little hammock down there.
Hammock.
So we've got, it's a little bit grey, overcast over here, but the beach is not looking that blue right now, but it is beautiful. Normally the ocean is right there, and it's normally quite stunning, but it's a bit grey today, but I'm still nice and warm.
It is still stunning. I'm telling you, when you're in Adelaide and it's literally freezing cold, that looks like heaven on earth to me. So step one is get around the right people. And I know for a fact that your girls are thriving now compared to, you know, some of the challenges that they were facing in school. And I love watching your Facebook updates with seeing them embracing the village life with the locals and all of that. So that was your first step. Was there something else you wanted to share before I cut you off and got you to show us Fiji?
Yeah, no, it's probably to definitely have like a 1 year and a 5 year vision, and then to break that down and dare to dream big, you know, like pretend that nothing is an issue. You're not tied to anything. You're not tied to a mortgage, just dream, and write it down on a piece of paper, the first thing that comes to your brain. And I still do the goal setting every single month that you taught me since 2016. I still have my monthly my goal setting sheet, and I teach that throughout my team globally because I just absolutely think it's gold and has changed my life. And I have a brain dump list. So what I just do is I have my brain dump list where I get everything off my mind so I feel lighter. I turn that brain dump list into my goals, and I look at my brain dump list and I just keep asking myself good quality questions. I keep going back to that, you know, what is looking at that brain dump list, what is important right now that needs to be done, you know, to keep things moving, and what's also important right now that's going to get me closer to where I want to be. So I just look at my time management a bit better, and you know, I get up earlier now, which I'm not a morning person, but I learned that I'm not a morning person is an old story and an old belief. Who's to say I'm not a morning person? It's just a belief and a story we tell ourselves. So I now get up an hour earlier, and what that's done in my household alone, just for the kids, you know, because normally it's get up, correct, get your lunchboxes, get dressed, why haven't you brushed your teeth yet, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like by the time they've gotten up, I've been for a walk down to the river and back, or a run. I've done my exercise on this deck here. I've starting to make the lunches. I've put some music, burning some incense. And by the time the kids slowly wake up to my music, we're all in a good mood. I'm not rushed. I'm ahead of schedule. The kids are, when there's no yelling anymore. So just getting more out of your time, looking at where you waste time, or what can, you know, Facebook's a great example, except for if you're watching this, of course. Asking yourself, you know, that, you know, is what I'm doing right now going to get me close to where I want to be? I ask that to myself all the time. I do daily affirmations to keep myself positive, like I can do this. I watch my language a lot. You know, I can't versus I can. Or how can I? Daily meditation before I go to bed has helped me switch off at night to turn the brain off, because I found myself 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I'm just awake and my brain is ticking. And to see obstacles as assignments. What can I learn from this? And don't be too busy to work on your dreams. You know, that's that's a big key. And just having that relationship with your partner. Me and my husband, every Sunday night, we sit down and we plan our week ahead. And what have you got on? What have I got on? Okay, beautiful. You do this and you do that with the kids. And in the meantime, I'll do this. And we just have this great relationship where we're dreaming together.
As a team.
And,
I love it.
and we're planning together. And we're planning our weekend. And it just feels great to do it as a team.
Fantastic. And I just love what you said, never be too busy to work on your dreams. So I wanted to ask you, Beck, is there any book that you're reading at the moment or any book you could recommend for our viewers that could get them on the path to freedom?
Absolutely. The one that changed my life in January, I literally hit a brick wall in December. Besides that book, which is like unbelievable, I open that book and quote it all the time in my Leaders in Lifestyle page. So thank you, Jo, you're a gem. But I hit a brick wall in December, and I would say close to having a nervous breakdown because I just felt like everything was too hard. And this is before I started to change my language. And for some reason, this book just kept on jumping out at me, and people kept on mentioning it. And I was like, nah. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick it up and read it. And oh my God, since then, if you could only know what I've achieved and what I've implemented and how I am as a person, you would be gobsmacked. But it was The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. Amazing book. And the other one which changed my life too is The Miracle Morning for network marketers for me. But they do The Miracle Morning for for all different segments of people. But that's by Hal Elrod and Pat Petrini. So that is brilliant.
Yeah, and I have actually just downloaded The Universe Has Your Back because I haven't read any of Gabby Bernstein's books, but I've heard you talking about them so frequently.
I'm up to her fourth book, and I'm waiting for, she's about to bring out one now called the Super Attractor or something like that, and I've got it on standby on Audible.
So I'm inspired to get into Gabby Bernstein. Thank you for that, because I have seen the changes that her work has done in you, but I also did a bit of research after hearing you talk about her so often. Her mentor is my mentor, which is Marianne Williamson, our Course in Miracles. And, you know, we talk a lot about the Return to Love workshop. So I'm expecting that I'm going to love Gabby Bernstein as well.
You will love her. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Beck, for inviting us to Fiji this morning on Find Your Freedom TV. You've given us so many golden nuggets to take away from. And I just want to wrap up the show with the 7 steps that I've got here to help our viewers move closer to freedom. So if you are watching this and you are thinking, well, you know what, I'd love to be where Beck is right now, sitting on a porch in the middle of Fiji, then here are some things that will get you closer to your goals. Number 1, as Beck said, dare to dream. Never be too busy for your goals. Number 2 is take the life audit. You know, before Beck joined the Ultimate Goals Club, we start with the reality check, which is the life audit. And you can get a free copy from us at 7effect.com. And basically what that does is review where you are on all 7 elements of your life. Then you want to identify, well, what are the gaps between where I am and where I want to be. And once you know what those gaps are, you just start working on them step by step. I want to throw in there as well, working on them with a team really helps. As Beck said, having the people around you is a big key to success. So I recommend number 4 is join a goals club or start your own goals club. I love what you're doing with the Leaders in Lifestyle group. So Beck's actually got a closed group and she's sharing some of the ideas that we shared in Goals Club. And this is a ripple effect. It's going on, and I'm hoping that people in your Leaders with a Lifestyle will share it and start their own goals clubs. And that's what we want to happen, really. Number 5, check in with your goals every month. In fact, Beck was saying her and her hubby do it every single week. Is that right? You guys check in each week and do your planning? Love that.
Yep.
Number 6, adopt a morning routine. Beck loves the book Miracle Mornings. I love that too. When we do the Bali retreat, we're starting every day with a beautiful miracle morning, and I think that that's something that people can take home as a habit. And number 7 is always, always take action daily. So that's it from me and Beck. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks, Beck, for being here. It's lovely to have you.
Thanks, Joes, for having me.
My pleasure. And to everyone out there who's watching Find Your Freedom TV, remember, live life by design, not by default. We'll see you all next week.